So happy to see all of you again. This is part 7 of the ASMR rating of the Mueller Report. Today's video is sponsored by No Logo Stock Footage. If you're looking for any stock footage for making videos in your personal or private lives for YouTube, for example, you can go to one of these links below and check out different stock footage that No Logo has up on places like Adobe and Bond 5. So just go down below, click on the links, and you'll be able to see all the different stock footage they got. On to the report. The office did not locate Raisin in the United States, although the office confirmed Raisin had been issued a Florida driver's license. The office otherwise was unable to determine the content and origin of the information he purportedly offered to Stone. Finally, the investigation did not identify evidence of a connection between the outreach or the meeting and Russian interference efforts. B. Campaign efforts to obtain deleted Clinton emails. After candidate Trump stated on July 27, 2016 that he hoped Russia would find the 30,000 emails that are missing, Trump asked individuals associated with his campaign to find the deleted Clinton emails. Michael Flynn, who would later serve as National Security Advisor in the Trump administration, recalled that Trump made this request repeatedly, and Flynn subsequently contacted multiple people in an effort to obtain the emails. Barbara Ledeen and Peter Smith were among the people contacted by Flynn. Ledeen, a longtime Senate staffer who had previously sought the Clinton emails, provided updates to Flynn about her efforts throughout the summer of 2016. Smith, an investment advisor who was active in Republican politics, also attempted to locate and obtain the deleted Clinton emails. Ledeen began her efforts to obtain the Clinton emails before Flynn's request as early as December 2015. On December 3, 2015, she emailed Smith a proposal to obtain the emails stating, "Here's the proposal I briefly mentioned to you. The person I described to you would be happy to talk with you either in person or over the phone. The person can get the emails which, 1, were classified and 2, were purloined by our enemies. That would demonstrate what needs to be demonstrated." Attached to the email was a 25-page proposal stating that the Clinton email server was, in all likelihood, breached long ago, and that the Chinese, Russian, and Iranian intelligence services could reassemble the server's email content. The proposal called for a 3-phase approach. The first 2 phases consisted of open source analysis. The third phase consisted of checking with certain intelligence sources that have access through liaison work with various foreign services to determine if any of those services had gone to the server. The proposal noted, even if a single email was recovered and the provenance, not sure what that's, of that email was a foreign service, it would be catastrophic to the Clinton campaign. Smith forwarded the email to 2 colleagues and wrote, "We can discuss to whom it should be referred." On December 16, 2015, Smith informed Ledeen that he declined to participate in her initiative. According to one of Smith's business associates, Smith believed Ledeen's initiative was not viable at that time. Footnote 264. Flynn, April 25, 2018, 302 at 5 to 6. Flynn, May 1st, 2018, 302 at 1 to 3. Footnote 265. Flynn, May 1st, 2018, 302 at 1 to 3. Footnote 266. Flynn, April 25th, 2018, 302 at 7. Flynn, May 4th, 2018, 302 at 1 to 2. Flynn, November 29, 2017, 302 at 7 to 8. Footnote 267. Flynn, November 29, 2017, 302 at 7. Footnote 268. Shabaksan, March 29, 2017, 302 at 1. Footnote 269. December 3rd, 2015, email Ledeen to Smith. Footnote 270. December 3rd, 2015, email to Ledeen to Smith. Attachment. Just back to the main page. Just weeks after Trump Trump's July 2016 request to find the Clinton emails. However, Smith tried to locate and obtain the emails himself. He created a company, raised tens of thousands of dollars, and recruited security experts and business associates. Smith made claims to others involved in the effort and those from whom he sought funding that he was in contact with hackers with ties and affiliations to Russia who had access to the emails, and that his efforts were coordinated with the Trump campaign. On August 28, 2016, Smith sent an email from an encrypted account with the subject, Secretary Clinton's unsecured private email server, to an undisclosed list of recipients, including campaign chairman Sam Clovis. The email stated that Smith was just finishing 2 days of sensitive meetings here in D.C. with involved groups to poke and probe on the above. It is clear that the Clintons' home-based, unprotected server was hacked with ease by both state-related players and private mercenaries, parties with varying interests and circling to release ahead of the election. On September 2, 2016, Smith directed a business associate to establish KLS Research LLC in furtherance of his search for the deleted Clinton emails. One of the purposes of KLS Research was to manage the funds Smith raised in support of his initiative. KLS Research received over $30,000 during the presidential campaign, although Smith represented that he raised even more money. Smith recruited multiple people for his initiative, including security experts, to search for and authenticate the emails. In early September 2016, as part of his recruitment and fundraising effort, Smith circulated a document stating that his initiative was in coordination with the Trump campaign to the extent permitted as an independent expenditure organization. The document listed multiple individuals affiliated with the Trump campaign, including Flynn, Clovis, Bannon, and Kellyanne Conway. The investigation established that Smith communicated with at least Flynn and Clovis about his search for the deleted emails, but the office did not identify evidence that any of the listed individuals initiated or directed Smith's efforts. Footnote 271. December 3, 2015, email Smith to Sheboxan and Saffron. Footnote 272. Sheboxan, March 29, 2018, 302 at 1. Footnote 273. August 31, 2016, email Smith to Smith. Footnote 274. August 28, 2016, email Smith to Smith. Footnote 275. Incorporation Papers of KLS Research LLC, July 26, 2017, redacted for grand jury. Sheboxan, March 29, 2018, 302 at 2. Footnote 276. Sheboxan, March 29, 2018, 302 at 3. Footnote 277. Financial Institution Record of Peter Smith and KLS Research LLC, October 31, 2017, redacted for grand jury. October 11, 2016, email Smith to, redacted for personal privacy. Footnote 278. Date, August 22, 2017, 302 at 3, York. July 12, 2017, 302 at 1 to 2, York. November 22, 2017, 302 at 1. Footnote 279. York, July 13, 2017, 302, attachment KLS Research LLC, Clinton email reconnaissance initiative, September 9, 2016. Back to the main page. In September 2016, Smith and Ledeen got back in touch with each other about their respective efforts. Ledeen wrote to Smith, wondering if you had some more detailed reports or memos or other data that you could share, because we have come a long way in our efforts since we last visited. We would need as much technical discussion as possible so we could marry it against the new data we have found, and then could share it back with you, your eyes only. Ledeen claimed to have obtained a trove of emails from what she described as the dark web that purported to be the deleted Clinton emails. Ledeen wanted to authenticate the emails and solicited contributions to fund that effort. Eric Prince provided funding to hire a tech advisor to ascertain the authenticity of the emails. According to Prince, the tech advisor determined that the emails were not authentic. A backup of Smith's computer contained 2 files that had been downloaded from WikiLeaks and that were originally attached to 2 emails received by John Podesta. The files on Smith's computer had creation dates of October 2, 2016, which was prior to the date of their release by WikiLeaks. Forensic evidence, however, established that the creation date did not reflect when the files were downloaded to Smith's computer. It appears that the creation date was when WikiLeaks staged the documents for release, as discussed in Volume 1, Section 3, B3C Supra. The investigation did not otherwise identify evidence that Smith obtained the files before they were released by WikiLeaks. Smith continued to send emails to an undisclosed recipient list about Clinton's deleted emails until shortly before the election. For example, on October 28, 2016, Smith wrote that there was a tug-of-war going on within WikiLeaks over its planned release in the next few days, and that WikiLeaks had maintained that it will save its best revelations for last. Under the theory, this allows little time for a response prior to the U.S. election November 8th. An attachment to the emails claimed that WikiLeaks would release all 33,000 deleted emails by November 1st. No emails obtained from Clinton's server were subsequently released. Footnote 280. The same recruitment document listed Jerome Corsi under independent group/organization/individuals and described him as an established author and writer from the right on President Obama and Secretary Clinton. Footnote 281. Flynn, November 29, 2017, 302 at 7 to 8. October 15, 2016, email Smith to Flynn et al. August 28, 2016, email Smith to Smith, BCC Clovis et al. Footnote 282. September 16, 2016, email Ladine to Smith. Footnote 283. Prince, April 4, 2018, 302 at 4 to 5. Footnote 284. The forensic analysis of Smith's computer devices found that Smith used an older Apple operating system that would have preserved that October 2, 2016 creation date when it was downloaded, no matter what day it was in fact downloaded by Smith. See Volume 1, Section 3B, 3C, Supra. The office tested this theory in March 2019 by downloading 2 files found on Smith's computer from WikiLeaks' site using the same Apple operating system on Smith's computer. Both files were successfully downloaded and retained the October 2nd creation date, CSM-2284941, serial 62. Footnote 285. October 28th, 2016, email Smith to Smith. Back to the main page. Smith drafted multiple emails stating or intimating that he was in contact with Russian hackers. For example, in one such email, Smith claimed that in August 2016, Kayla's research had organized meetings with parties who had access to the deleted Clinton emails, including parties with ties and affiliations to Russia. The investigation did not identify evidence that any such meetings occurred. Associates and security experts who worked with Smith on the initiative did not believe that Smith was in contact with Russian hackers and were aware of no such connection. The investigation did not establish that Smith was in contact with Russian hackers or that Smith, Ladine, or other individuals in touch with the Trump campaign ultimately obtained the deleted Clinton emails. In summary, the investigation established that the GRU hacked into email accounts of persons affiliated with the Clinton campaign, as well as the computers of the DNC and DCCC. The GRU then exfiltrated data related to the 2016 election from these accounts and computers and disseminated that data through fictitious online personas, DC Leaks and Guccifer 2.0, and later through WikiLeaks. The investigation also established that the Trump campaign displayed interest in WikiLeaks releases and that, redacted, as explained in Volume 1, Section 5B, in front the evidence was sufficient to support computer hacking, intrusion, and other charges against GRU officers for their role in election-related hacking. Redacted. Footnote 286. August 31st, 2016, email Smith to Smith. Footnote 287. Saffron, March 20, 2018 through 2 at 3. Suboxone, March 29, 2018 through 2 at 6. Back on the main page. 4. Russian government links to and contacts with the Trump campaign. The office identified multiple contacts links in the words of the appointment order between Trump campaign officials and individuals with ties to the Russian government. The office investigated whether those contacts constituted a third avenue of attempted Russian interference with or influence on the 2016 presidential election. In particular, the investigation examined whether these contacts involved or resulted in coordination or a conspiracy with the Trump campaign and Russia, including with respect to Russia providing assistance to the campaign in exchange for any sort of favorable treatment in the future. Based on the available information, the investigation did not establish such coordination. This section describes the principal links between the Trump campaign and individuals with ties to the Russian government, including some contacts with campaign officials or associates who have been publicly reported to involve Russian contacts. Each subsection begins with an overview of the Russian contact at issue and then describes in detail the relevant facts, which are generally presented in chronological order, beginning with the early months months of the campaign extending through the presidential election and transition period. A. Campaign period, September 2015 to November 8, 2016. Russian government-connected individuals and media entities began showing interest in Trump's campaign in the months after he announced his candidacy in June 2015. Because Trump's status as a public figure at the time was attributable in large part to his prior business and entertainment dealings. This office investigated whether a Trump business contact with Russian-linked individuals and entities during the campaign period, the Trump Tower Moscow project, see Volume 1, Section 4A1 Infra, led to or involved coordination of election assistance. Outreach from individuals with ties to Russia continued in the spring and summer of 2016, when Trump was moving forward and eventually becoming the Republican nominee for president. As set forth below, the office also evaluated a series of links during this period. Outreach to two of Trump's then recently named foreign policy advisors, Volume 1, Sections 4A2 and 4A3, dealings with a DC-based think tank that specializes in Russia and has connections with its government. Volume 1, Section 4A4, a meeting at Trump Tower between the campaign and a Russian lawyer promising to turn on candidate Clinton that was part of Russia and its government support for Trump. Volume 1, Section 4A5, events at the Republican National Convention. Volume 1, Section 4A6, post-convention contacts between Trump campaign officials and Russian ambassador to the United States. Volume 1, Section 4A7, and contacts through campaign chairman Paul Manafort, who had previously worked for a Russian oligarch and a pro-Russian political party in Ukraine. Section 1 of Volume 1, Section 4A8. Footnote 288. For example, on August 18, 2015, on behalf of the editor-in-chief of the internet newspaper Vzglyad, Georgy Asatryan emailed campaign press secretary Opix asking for a phone or in-person candidate interview. August 8, 2015, email Asatryan to Hicks. One day earlier, the publication's founder and former Russian parliamentarian Konstantin Rykov had registered two Russian websites, Trump2016.ru and DonaldTrump2016.ru. No interview took place. Back to the main page. 1. Trump Tower Moscow Project. The Trump Organization has pursued and completed projects outside the United States as part of its real estate portfolio. Some projects have involved the acquisition and ownership through subsidiary corporate structures of property. In other cases, the Trump Organization has executed licensing deals with real estate developers and management companies, often local to the country where the project was located. Between at least 2013 and 2016, the Trump Organization explored a similar licensing deal in Russia involving the construction of a Trump-branded property in Moscow. The project, commonly referred to as a Trump Tower Moscow or Trump Moscow project, anticipated a combination of commercial, hotel, and residential properties all within the same building. Between 2013 and June 2016, several employees of the Trump Organization, including then-president of the organization Donald J. Trump, pursued a Moscow deal with several Russian counterparties. From the fall of 2015 until the middle of 2016, Michael Cohen spearheaded the Trump Organization's pursuit of a Trump Tower Moscow project, including by reporting on the project's status to candidate Trump and other executives in the Trump Organization. A. Trump Tower Moscow venture with the Crocus Group, 2013 to 2014. The Trump Organization and the Crocus Group, a Russian real estate conglomerate owned and controlled by Aras Akalarov, began discussing a Russian-based real estate project shortly after the conclusion of the 2013 Miss Universe pageant in Moscow. Donald J. Trump Jr. served as the primary negotiator on behalf of the Trump Organization. Emin Akalarov, son of Aras Akalarov, and Iraqi Ike Kavaladze represented the Crocus Group during the negotiations, with the occasional assistance of Robert Goldstone. Footnote 289. CEG interview of Donald J. Trump Jr.'s Senate Judiciary Committee 150 in Congress 151 to 52, September 7, 2017, discussing licensing deals of specific projects. Footnote 290. As noted in Volume 1, Section 3D1, Supra, in November 2018, Cohen pleaded guilty to making false statements to Congress concerning, among other things, the duration of the Trump Tower Information 7A, United States v. Michael Cohen, 118 CR 850, SDNY, November 29, 2018, Doc 2, Cohen Information, footnote 291. See interview of Donald J. Trump Jr. Senate Judiciary Committee, 150th Congress, 13 September 7, 2017. Following the patching of the Trump Organization and Mr. Akalarov's company, Crocus Group, began preliminary discussion with potential real estate projects in Moscow. As has been widely reported, the Miss Universe pageant, which Trump owned at the time, was held at the Akalarov-owned Crocus City Hall in Moscow in November 2013. Both groups were involved in organizing the pageant, and Aras Akalarov's son, Emin, was a musical performer at the event, which Trump attended. Footnote 292. Kafaladze, November 16, 2017, 32 at 2. 46, redacted for grand jury, OSC KAV underscore 00385, December 6, 2013, email Trump Jr. to Kafaladze and E. Akalarov. Footnote 293, redacted for personal privacy. In December 2013, Kafaladze and Trump Jr. negotiated and signed preliminary terms of an agreement for the Trump Tower Moscow project. On December 23, 2018, after discussions with Donald J. Trump, the Trump Organization agreed to accept an arrangement whereby the organization received a flat fee of 3.5% commission on all sales, with no licensing fees or incentives. The parties negotiated a letter of intent during January and February 2014. From January 2014 through November 2014, the Trump Organization and Crocus Group discussed development plans for the Moscow project. Sometime before January 24, 2014, the Crocus Group sent the Trump Organization a proposal for an 800-unit, 194-meter building to be constructed at a Akalarov-owned site in Moscow called Crocus City, which had also been the site of the Miss Universe pageant. In February 2014, Ivanka Trump met with Emin Akalarov and toured the Crocus City site during a visit to Moscow. From March 2014 through July 2014, the groups discussed design standards and other architectural elements. For example, in July 2014, members of the Trump Organization sent Crocus Group counterparties questions about the demographics of these prospective buyers in the Crocus City area, the development of neighboring parcels in Crocus City, and concepts for redesigning portions of the building. In August 2014, the Trump Organization requested specifications for a competing Marriott-based tower being built in Crocus City. Beginning in September 2014, the Trump Organization stopped communicating in a timely fashion to correspondence and proposals from the Crocus Group. Communications between the two groups continued through November 2014 with decreasing frequency. What appears to be the last communication is dated November 24, 2014. The project appears to have not developed past the planning stage and no construction occurred. Footnote 294, redacted for grand jury. Footnote 295, OSCKV underscore 0452, December 23rd, 2013, email Trump Jr. to Kafaladze and E. Akalarov. Footnote 296, CEG OSCKV underscore 1158, letter agreement signed by Trump Jr. and E. Akalarov. OSCKV underscore 01147, January 20th, 2014, email Kafaladze to Trump Jr. et al. Footnote 297, CEGOSCKV underscore 0092, October 14, 2014, email Mickey to Ku et al. Email from Crocus Group contractor about specifications, OSCKV underscore 00540, January 24, 2014, email Mickey to Trump Jr. et al. Footnote 298, COSCKV underscore 00631, February 5th, 2014, email E. Akalarov to Ivanka Trump Jr. and Kafaladze. Cold Stone Facebook post, February 4th, 2014, 8:01 a.m. Redacted for investigative technique. Footnote 299, CEGOSCKV underscore 00791, June 3rd, 2014, email Kafaladze to Trump Jr. et al. OSCKV underscore 00799, June 10th, 2014, email Trump Jr. to Kafaladze et al. OSCKV underscore 00817, June 16th, 2014, email Trump Jr. to Kafaladze et OSCKV_00855. August 4th, 2014 email Gu to Mickey et al. 40302. OSCKV_00903. September 29, 2014 email Tropia to Mickey and Cavalads, noting the last response was on August 26, 2014. OSCKV_00906. September 29, 2014 email Cavalads to Tropia and Mickey suggesting silence. Mickey to Gu et al. Email from Crocus Group contractor about development specifications. 40303. OSCKV_1140. November 24th, 2014 email Gu to Mickey et al. Back to the main page. B. Communications with IC Expert Investment Company and Georgie. Oh God. Richie lads. Lads. RTSKHILADZE. Ritzkelads. September and fall 2015. In the late summer of 2015, the Trump Organization received a new inquiry about pursuing a Trump Tower project in Moscow. In approximately September 2015, Felix Sater, a New York-based real estate advisor, contacted Michael Cohen, then executive vice president of the Trump Organization and special counsel to Donald J. Trump. Sater had previously worked with the Trump Organization and advised it on a number of domestic and international projects. Sater had explored the possibility of a Trump Tower project in Moscow while working with the Trump Organization and therefore knew of the organization's general interest in completing a deal there. Sater had also served as an informal agent of the Trump Organization in Moscow previously and had accompanied Ivanka Trump and Donald Trump Jr. to Moscow in the mid-2000s. Sater contacted Cohen on behalf of IC Expert Investment Company, IC Expert, a Russian real estate development corporation controlled by Andrei Vladimirovich Rozov. Sater had also known Rozov since approximately 2007 and in 2014 had served as an agent on behalf of Rozov during Rozov's purchase of a building in New York City. Sater later contacted Rozov and proposed that IC Expert pursue a Trump Tower Moscow project in which IC Expert would license the name and brand of the Trump Organization but construct the building on its own. Sater worked on the deal with Rozov and other employees of IC Expert. Cohen was the only Trump Organization representative to negotiate directly with IC Expert or its agents. In approximately September 2015, Cohen obtained approval to negotiate with IC Expert from candidate Trump, who was then president of the Trump Organization. Cohen provided updates directly to Trump about the project throughout 2015 and into 2016, assuring him the project was continuing. Cohen also discussed the Trump Tower Moscow project with Ivanka Trump as to determine elements such as possible architects to use for the project, and Donald J. Trump Jr. about his experience in Moscow and possible involvement in the project during the fall of 2015. Footnote 304. Sater provided information to our office in two 2017 interviews connected under a proffer agreement, redacted for grand jury. Footnote 305. Redacted for grand jury. Footnote 306. Sater, September 19, 2017 through 2 at 1 to 2, 5. Footnote 307. Sater, September 9, 2017 through 2 at 3. Footnote 308. Rozov, January 25, 2018 through 2 at 1. Footnote 309. Rozov, January 2015 302 at 1. See also November 2nd, 2015 email Cohen to Rozov et al. Sending letter of intent. Footnote 310. Cohen, September 12, 2018 302 at 1 to 2, 4 to 6. Footnote 311. Cohen, September 12, 2018 302 at 5. Footnote 312. Cohen, September 12, 2018 302 at 4 to 5. Back to the main page. Also during the fall of 2015, Cohen communicated about the Trump-Moscow proposal with Georgie Ritzkelads, a business executive who previously had been involved in the development deal with the Trump Organization in Batumi, Georgia. Cohen stated that he spoke to Ritzkelads in part because Ritzkelads had pursued business ventures in Moscow, including a licensing deal with the Aglarov-owned Crocus Group. On September 22nd, 2015, Cohen forwarded a primary design study for the Trump Moscow project to Ritzglad's, adding, "I look forward to your reply about this spectacular project in Moscow." Ritzglad's forwarded Cohen's email to an associate and wrote, "If we could organize the meetings in New York at the highest level of the Russian government and Mr. Trump, this project would definitely receive the worldwide attention." On September 24, 2015, Ritzglad sent Cohen an attachment that he described as a proposed letter to the mayor of Moscow from Trump org, explaining that we need to send this letter to the mayor of Moscow. Second guy in Russia, he is aware of the potential project and will pledge his support. In a second email to Cohen sent the same day, Ritzglad provided a translation of the letter, which described the Trump-Moscow project as a symbol of stronger economic, business, and cultural relationships between New York and Moscow, and therefore United States and the Russian Federation. On September 27th, 2015, Ritzglad sent another email to Cohen proposing that the Trump Organization partner on the Trump-Moscow project with Global Development Group LLC, which he described as being controlled by Mikhail Posykhin, a Russian architect, and Simon Nizaradze. Cohen told the office that he ultimately declined the proposal and instead continued to work with IC Expert, the company represented by Felix Sater. See Letter of Intent and Contacts to Russian Government, October 2015 to January 2016. Trump signs the letter of intent on behalf of the Trump Organization between approximately October 13, 2015 and November 2nd, 2015. The Trump Organization, through its subsidiary Trump Acquisition LLC and IC Expert, completed a letter of intent, LOI, for a Trump Moscow project. The LOI signed by Trump for the Trump Organization and Rosov on behalf of IC Expert was intended to facilitate further discussions in order to attempt to enter into a mutually acceptable agreement related to the Trump brand project in Moscow. The LOI contemplated a development with residential, hotel, commercial, and office components, and called for approximately 250 first-class luxury residential condominiums, as well as one first-class luxury hotel consisting of approximately 15 floors and containing not fewer than 150 hotel rooms. For the residential and commercial portions of the project, the Trump Organization would receive between 1 and 5% of all condominium sales, plus 3% of all rental and other revenue. For the project's hotel portion, the Trump Organization would receive a base fee of 3% of gross operating revenues for the first 5 years and 4% thereafter, plus a separate incentive fee of 20% of operating profit. Under the LOI, the Trump Organization also would receive $4 million upfront fee prior to groundbreaking. Under these terms, the Trump Organization stood to earn substantial sums over the lifetime of the project without assuming significant liabilities or financial commitments. Footnote 313. Ritzglad was a U.S.-based executive of the Georgian company Silk Road Group. In approximately 2011, Silk Road Group and the Trump Organization entered into a licensing agreement to build a Trump-branded property in Batumi, Georgia. Ritzglad was also involved in discussions for a Trump-branded project in Astana, Kazakhstan. The office twice interviewed Ritzglad, redacted for grand jury. Footnote 314. Cohen, September 12, 2018, 302 at 12. See also Ritzglad, May 10th, 2018, 302 at 1. Footnote 315. September 22nd, 2015, email Ritzglad to Nizaradze. Footnote 316. September 24, 2015, email Ritzglad to Cohen. Footnote 317. September 24, 2015, email Ritzglad to Cohen. Footnote 318. September 29, 2015, email Ritzglad to Cohen. Footnote 319. Cohen, September 12, 2018, 302 at 12. And that's it for today. I'd like to thank all of you for watching part 7 of the Mueller Report. And yes, if you're looking for any stock footage for any of your products, you can go to one of these links down below. Pick which site you like the most. Bond 5, Storyblocks, Adobe, and some more. So they're all up on all those. You can get one or get all of them if you want. But yes, I'll see you in the next video.